Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept our humble obeisances. Thank you so much for allow us to try to serve to you, to assist you.
It's a very amazing temple. So this was amazing devotees, brahmacharis, grihastas, just amazing community, so joyful. I think we will talk for our own purification. You'll support us. For sure. Thank you so much. And today's topic is not vulnerability. I think it's important for all of us, but it's a big topic, and I think we have only about half an hour. How long time we have?
45 minutes.
45? Okay, 45 minutes. Nice. So we do workshops, like we more to workshops than we do lectures. We like interactive style. So it will be like all practical, hopefully questions and answers a lot of it. And we will only touch on some points of anatommy. Of course, we cannot discuss a lot. And so we will start from the verse of Bhagavad Gita. By the way, we are like just arrived from Toronto. So again, it was like unexpected things on the way. And we are bringing a huge box of special prashadam from Radhashyam. We need to help also to load it from the car. It's like one amazing devotees, if you know that Kishori Mani from Nishta Mataji, they did a huge festival on last weekend. We went there for that. This Maharaj. It was 12-hour Kirtan program and then temple program. So they had a huge box of prashadam, gift boxes full of people.
Om Gyantinam Dasya Janasha
About 10 to 15 minutes. So, 10.
Yes.
So everybody knows that anartha-nivriti is process of purification heart from unwanted qualities. Most people of society are grihastas, family people. And actually only grihastha ashram is supporting materially all society. We were really impressed when we came here first time, 10 days ago, to meet brahmacharis in this temple, and we were really impressed. Because when temple has brahmacharis, it is special temple. When in Chicago temple, brahmachari were, it was different. Feeling different, energy different, inspiration totally different. So we got inspiration in this temple, and we just sincerely wanted to share some our experience, what we working with people, assisting to people, and working ourselves on our purification, talking about anartha-nivriti, performing prescribed duty. We know that chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita explains karma yoga. Everybody has to follow, perform his duty. And it is karma yoga. But when prescribed duty performed by this offering toward Vishnu, in order to satisfy him, sacrifice to him, and then for performing prescribed duty. It's mean bhakti yoga or karma yoga in Krishna consciousness. So practically, everybody wants to achieve perfection, to satisfy Guru, Krishna, and Bhagavad Gita gives process that everyone should pass through 4 stages of life: Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasi. And in each stage of life, one has to pass through performing prescribed duty according to his nature or varna. So it's another point to consider what one must do actually in this life. We're talking now mostly about family people, grihastha.
I have a question. How many devotees here are in Grihastha ashram?
90
And how
percent.
many people are in Vanaprastha ashram?
Not really.
And how many brahmacharis? So like 90%.
95, 98% here are people of family people. So we are family people. We are dreaming about Vanaprastha, but still family people. So still we have duty of family people. So now we will talk a little bit about factors that support to perform prescribed duties and factors that works against us, like obstacles. So it's a really practical topic for daily use.
Okay, so we'll chant a couple verses and every verse you can read and study each verse in Bhagavad Gita. So read from chapter 18, last chapter, verse 47. It's interesting that these topics are discussed right in the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We can think about the importance, right? How important is this topic. Shreya Swadharma Vikuna Paradharmat Sanushthidat Swadhavan Yatam Karma Kurman Napnati Kilbisham. Original translation. It is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties performed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reaction. I will read one more time. It is better to engage in one's occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions.
Would you like to feel your weak places in your performing prescribed duty?
Do we want to perform our duties for Krishna better?
Yes.
Do we want to find our weak areas in that? Or
Yes.
wow,
There are actually two motivations that pushing one to move. One motivation is desire to achieve something, and another it is obstacle. So two are front and back. So if you want to understand or to feel at least the idea is of this short workshop, to like to feel, if you like to feel what obstacles you have. It is interesting, right?
Yes.
Very interesting. Because our life, it's not like one piece of paper. It's many, many sides of our life,
many
And-
areas.
areas. And in each area, this shloka actually works, right? In each area of our life, we must follow by our nature. For example, if one is young, he is brahmachari, it's one part of nature. At the same time, his nature could be manager, could be cook, could be clean, could be read books, etc. So in many areas, occupation could be different, education could be different, many interests of life could be different. And in each part of our life, we should be follow our nature. It means we should be in balance, in harmony. We should have energy to perform our duty, right? So if we have obstacles, even if we have desire, but obstacles doesn't allow us quite often to achieve our goal, or movement forward is slow. We have difficulties. Sometimes we feel to do something what we must do, we feel weakness, laziness, dullness. Who has this? Oh, somebody has. Good. I'm not alone. Yes. Point is, this nature, material world. Krishna arranged this world perfectly for spirit soul to study how to purify self and come back to Krishna. So we must to understand this path. We must purify our heart from desires that work for us like obstacles. And now we will talk about resource. If one has energy, he knows goal, and he has power to achieve this goal. Everything looks good. But very often, what do we know? We have goal, but have not energy.
What is our goal?
Going back to Krishna.
Going back to Krishna, and at the same time, many people, right? Many different goals like work, like keep relationships with wife, with children, keep your health together to do all of that, right? Is it sometimes difficult to do it all? Do we sometimes get irritated? All these unwanted qualities, do we sometimes get angry that I do so much work and he doesn't, the person in front of me or the family? Do we have all that?
Yes.
Is it helpful in our bhakti path?
No.
Is it helpful to our health?
No.
What anger does to our health? What anger and irritation does to our health?
Takes us away from Krishna because we can't focus on the goal.
Right, and I'm talking right now what anger and irritation does to our physical health. Yeah, it brings our nervous system down, our immune system down, affects our heart, our stomach, right? It decreases our lifetime, and we need our lifetime to come to Krishna.
And energy decreasing. We're losing energy. So we're talking about how we need energy to move forward. So if we are in unbalanced condition, it is our obstacles. If we are in harmony with ourselves, with our own energies, if we have resources, everybody has resource. Ishopanishad says so.
Shall I say Madame Sarah there in chapter 10 to that? Can talk to the Bujit Park?
Please help us.
Just came out.
Okay, everybody has his energy, material, spiritual, health, education, whatever, that given him by God. And everybody must be satisfied and
Take everything as his part, and then remember to whom it all belongs. So basically, we tell, like Krishna sees all of us and gives us what belongs to us, right? And gives us also responsibilities which belong to us, that we can fulfill our duties and come to him.
so two shlokas. The shloka of Ishopanishad, that everybody has resource given by God. Like we have pocket, in our pocket we have some amount of money that we should buy something. We can buy only one amount what we have in pocket, no more, right? So according to our karma, we get an energy that given us by God, and we should use this energy very carefully. Different kind of energy, health, education, financial, friends, family. It's all energy that we have, our resource. So if we using our resource properly, it's mean we are in balance. Not much obstacles, we just going forward. But looks like almost everybody has obstacles. So it's quite natural, like Prabhupada said, disease of material existence. All we are sick. Spirit souls located in material world are sick. And now we actually will talk about how it looks like this sickness. Not familiarity, it is purification process of heart from unwanted qualities. It's sickness, sickness of material existence, in other words. So now let's go more in details how it's going on balance. And we just assisting you. Who is interested to understand his motivation forward and what obstacles one has. Please talk to yourself. If you something not understand, ask and we will assist you to figure out more in details. So what we do in workshops, we just working with people assist them to open heart and to figure out what actually one does improperly by doing not his duty, by not following his nature, but follow somebody's nature in doing somebody's duty. You see the difference? So we should understand our nature. Like Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, we should understand our nature, like what varna or skills do we have by nature, what our ancestors, parents, grandparents had, and actually varnashrama dharma means that actually genetically children follow footsteps of parents, grandparents by occupation, right? It's actually a very strong education, very strong culture tradition. In modern society, there are so many psychology now. If you ask why, yourself, why? Before, psychologist was not there. So maybe Ayurvedic doctor was it. Now psychology on every intersection. Why? Because before, family used to live together. And child saw parents, grandparents, sometimes great-grandparents, and got traditions and cultures. So not need really psychology, everything included in family wisdom.
My grandma and grandpa.
Wisdom is there, but modern society was cut with vertical, horizontal, and spread over the world. And now people lost roots of connection to wisdom, nature of wisdom that one had by, like Isha say, by giving him by God. So not strong connection to roots, not strong connection to wisdom of ancestor line. So consequences of losing roots or connection with roots, it's mean one thinking, oh, maybe I go to work like doctor, study doctor, good money, very good money. Study, became doctor, getting good money, but unhappy inside. Or doing something good financially, but unhappy inside. Somebody thinks, oh, I want to be manager, I want power, I want to say to people what to do, and they will do what I tell. I will be happy. Everybody want to be happy. It's not. Maybe when I will be manager, I will be happy. And when one became manager, having power, it doesn't mean that he has happiness. Did you hear stories about this? Or maybe you have own experience, made mistakes in life, experience. It's mean perform not own duty, but somebody's duty. Not follow own nature, but follow somebody's nature. And follow somebody's nature, not own. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
1848. Yeah.
No, actually, it's for the same. It is better to engage, it is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. The verse 48, every endeavor is covered by some fault, just as fire is covered by smoke. Therefore, one should not give up the work born of his nature, or son of Kunti, even if such work is full of fault. I think it's important to, again, like to remember that it's better to perform your duty perfectly than to perform somebody else's duty imperfectly. It's dangerous. So it's dangerous, and it's again like, right, so like, could be our natural thing. So, but we don't, and this is also about different aspects of life, actually. Not only the work.
In family,
Family.
sometimes one takes responsibility on others people more that he must to do. He thinks he should care for others people and take, but from different.
And so like, what I want to show you that often, why it is so hard for us for the hustlers to keep all the areas. We have to do a lot, right? It's the most difficult action. As we said, silence is important, right? Very important. At the same time, we need to work, take care of kids, good relationships in the family, take care of health. It's a lot. Do we sometimes feel overwhelmed? Right? So what we want to say here that often when we are overwhelmed is because we don't see our place. Sometimes we take more responsibilities than we should. For example, like often it's also in the Indian families, and we need to do it properly. It's very important to take care of parents. It's very important, right? But sometimes we take responsibility for the parents, and it's really overwhelming because the parents are responsible for the children, and life goes from Krishna to the parents to the children. So always the parents are responsible for their children, even if the parents are not in this world, right? Who agrees with me? So when we take responsibility for the parents emotionally, and it's emotional overwhelm, then we cannot give energy to whatever we do because it's too much on us. So it's very important to see this part, like we are shifting to our parents and they're responsible. And we need to serve them. We can serve them even better when we are not responsible for them. Because emotional energetic responsibility is cutting our energy level. So that's what we want to explain because we don't have so much time. But first, like very important here is to see your own duty, to be responsible only for your position, and also be humble to receive resource for every area of life. Like to do your own duty, like as a mother, you need resource, you need support. Because often as mothers we think, this is my child, and then we do too much, worry too much, right? But is it true? Is it only our child? Whose child is it? Christians, right? At the same time, it's child of our husband, it's grandchild of our parents, right? And when we feel like that, then we open the support coming from Krishna through us, and it's more released, more relaxed. Can you, mothers and fathers, can you right now just work on that? Just imagine if you have children, your child, and imagine that your child also has another parent, and your child has grandparents, even if they're not in this world, and your child's major, like your child's main parent are Radha and Krishna. Can you just feel that all of them take care of your child? How it feels? Hmm? More relaxing, right? Right? I feel it's more relaxing. Yeah. And actually, like our irritation and even anger is coming again when we are overstressed and we try to do too much in your time, right? So just this little thing, try to see in your life how to think about your responsibility, reduce stress, but in terms of if we are on our proper place, then we are not stressed. For example, this leg is not stressed right now. because it don't displays, though it holds the table. But if I will take this leg away, then I'll be like to be stressed. So like if the mother thinks it's my child, see, this is the mother. But if the mother says, this child has Radha and Krishna, it has grandparents, parents, father, and his sister, even if they live away, and we are all together. So then it's much more easier, right?
We can, it's one example. There are many examples. For example, one comes to work to get money, and suddenly one started to think, oh, I know better what to do, how to do. I will tell to my manager, to my boss, what to do, how to do. Or one will care about more than his duty. He will be definitely in stress. Even maybe his thought would be right, but worry about business process will be wrong. In turn, one would lose energy. So, idea is, if our heart is pure, no one hurts. We follow our nature, and our movement forward is optimal, optimized. But when our heart is full of anarthas, different desires, different thought, ego, I know better, or I will worry not only about my children, but maybe more and more and more. So I cannot perform my duty and purify my heart because I will be exhausted. So is it clear? Idea is clear? How depend our impure heart from our desires that pushing us out of line of balance. And we not follow our own nature, we do something else. We think this is better, but maybe it's not better. We don't follow Isha Tamisha, we don't use our energy that given us for our life optimal way. We just like put money on weed, just go out. Energy. Money is energy, our heart energy, energy, prana, life energy, psychological energy, emotional energy, spiritual energy. If you do offenses, you're losing spiritual energy, or sometimes you're losing health energy from offenses, coming diseases too. So if we are humble enough and careful, and we appreciate the statement of Isha Tamisha, appreciate what we have and care carefully, then we can move forward and handle little obstacles, much less, because our mind creates obstacles for us. Material exists.
And in that way, like understanding, like of course, this fault brings us difficulties every day. But when you're in your own place, it's much easier. When you're more open to resources. Even like if you like your child is maybe misbehaving, and you think child belongs to Krishna, and just your prayer, Krishna, please help. And according to your parent, or like feeling that you have your parents behind you. Often when the parents don't feel their parents behind them, they energetically, the child is very, very sensitive, and the child thinks that the mother or father is small because they don't have their own parents. And then he doesn't behave properly. So when we feel that we are only like, we have our parents and Krishna behind us, then the child will feel us bigger, and then he'll behave better. So, but so only these small things. But actually, like another comes because of ego, because of our pride. because we think somewhere that we are bigger than Krishna actually. So, but when we realize that we are small and we have support, we are big for our projects, for our children, but we are small for our gurus, for our parents, and for Krishna, then we receive more. So in that way, if we are more humble, we are open to receive from resources, from our resources that we have from our family, friends, teachers, and each other in the community. We can share. Instead of like, I was working so hard, you didn't work, right? You can feel how much you can work, how much you can do, but again, that's whatever you do is in line with your duties, in line with your abilities, with your energy.
Experience shows us that people suffering, and especially sometimes devotees, thinking, okay, I do my sadhana and it's enough for me. But for family ashram, Grihastha ashram, sadhana is extremely important. But sadhana is only part of our life. And when we're talking about 20, 30 years of practice, if we don't care about our anarthas to purify, so those obstacles collecting, and one can face many obstacles. So after many years of practice, we can meet it. Nobody wants it, right? So it's really a practical question, how we should be careful and really be conscious about our heart, what we have in our heart. If we really follow our nature in all areas of our life, the symptoms is quite simple. If we follow our nature, we are energized, and even if difficult, doesn't matter, it's okay. It could be according to karma, easy way or hard way, but we still inspiration feeling, energized, and feeling satisfaction. And we are in sattva, we are happy. If we don't feel those symptoms, it means something wrong. So, question, if you want to open this box of reason why cause, to understand what's going on with me, why I don't feel happy.
But you don't need the help. Like it's like sometimes we like health is not good, spiritual life is not good, and like the mood goes down sometimes, especially Western devotees. But if you think, oh, this area is not good, like, but where can I get help and why is that good? Does somebody has these issues? Do we talk? Wow, thank you. If somebody has some difficulties, if you want to, you can share. Maybe we can talk what help could be done. It's up to you because I'm just like that to open, maybe not. But yeah, like, but is it helpful for you to start looking? You know, like our relationships are like we have different areas of relationships, but if you are devotees, it's all Krishna's. If we have a family, what a devotee thinks about his family? To whom the wife belongs? To Krishna, children. Right? So like sometimes when relationships are not good in the family means they're not good with Krishna. Because it's all Krishna's and we are serving Krishna, so what is the problem? So, and it's all possible. Often again, our husband works a lot, like 12, 10 hours, and maybe 5 doesn't work, he can come home and think, oh, she doesn't do anything. And then like you can start, right? Sometimes it happens. And the wife thinks, I was working at home more than even he works at home at the work. So much energy to take care of kids, so much energy to cook. So they're angry at each other because they don't realize that it's all Christians and that they can be more relaxed and take resource and nourishment from Guru, from Krishna, from parents. And they also think how I can take care of parents. Not thinking my parents gave me this life, my parents brought me to Krishna. I'm so grateful they gave me so much. So I'm so blissful because they gave me so much, so I have energy to serve them. So life could be different if we change our view. If we're not only happy in the temple on Sundays, but we are like that every day and share with each other. Share our issues, think how we can change our mentality, change how we can practically understand the verse, how we can discuss it in our small circles. Because Grihasthas, as Bhajan Khan said in the beginning, is the main ashram for progress, for movement, like brings finances, brings children. So we need to be healthy that Krishna consciousness will spread. I think the time is finishing, right?
And if we not finish the ashram successfully, how can we dream about Vanaprastha ashram? And Vanaprastha ashram has own duty. Practicing renunciation, studying more deeply scriptures, and preparing for full renunciation. So this is a very scientific process. In modern world, it's very difficult to follow strictly by ashram. But still, we can practice in Vanaprastha. We know quite many examples where Grihastha became Vanaprastha, but only if they're quite successful in balance. If still not balance in Vanaprastha, it's
Still more desires.
More desires.
It's a long topic, right?
We just started actually.
For you to think, maybe we can come.
Working in trainings, workshops, we just begin and after we do practical workshops. But it's people who are ready to work, coming to open heart and purify heart. And it's kind of like surgery, but after So, any questions, comments?
Thank you for wonderful insight to these different aspects. I just had one question in my mind, and I just want to clarify on that. Yeah, that's true that nobody is perfect, and one may try to their best. But it apparently there is another dimension, which is this material world is never perfect, and some of the arrangements are put in such a way that to prove out the point, this material world is a dukhalema shashvata. So even if I try to solve these formulas, whether to be a perfect husband or a father or something like that, but from material perspective, Krishna wants to prove out this material world is not a place for you to settle down. Whether I'm practicing Grihastha ashram to a kind of near perfection, I wouldn't say perfection, even only Krishna can do that. So how do I understand if I'm not doing my job properly, or if I'm not following my ashram or my responsibility properly, or it's Krishna's way of telling, you're just you're putting effort in the wrong place. This world is not a perfect place. And there are so many examples that we see in Srimad Bhagavatam where these grihasthas are like perfect. If we take an example about Parishad Maharaj, if we take an example about King Indradumna, everything is perfect. They are just trying to practice bhakti and they are taking vanaprastha at the right time, making sure everything is taken care of. But we see there are challenges coming in their life just to intensify their bhakti. So how, again, we are not there. I'm not talking about myself being in that platform, but there has to be some kind of understanding to realize, hold on, I tried my best, but now leave it to Krishna. Krishna has some different way to basically purify my heart. Does it make sense?
Yeah, wonderful question, just so wonderful. Thank you so much. I think Krishna, yeah, like when we are devotees, every step Krishna shows us this world is like Dukkha Ashtam. Yeah, and the difficult moments Krishna gives us that we can practice bhakti more, that we can even, that by that time we just open up more to understand the second doesn't belong to us, it's Krishna's, right? So we still need to pray for the family, we still need to do what we can, if we like not kind of have to leave, of course. But still, like, it makes us even more as a source. Krishna shows us that we are not the owner of the situation. Again, that we need to be open to the resource. So any situation we need to go through, and we need to do that. We need to receive the resource from Krishna, and often from Krishna. Krishna gives it to us through somebody else also, right? So this is a position of humility to understand that I'm not kind of, it's not mine. I'm small. I just receive the resource and go for it. And actually, if we could do it earlier, then once I asked Govinda Maharaj, it's even for devotees, this world is not easy. But how to have less kind of tests and difficult exams in life? And he said, Maya tests everyone, but if you're humble, Maya will test less. Right? So if you already feel this is my wife, but she's a devotee of Krishna, these children are devotees of Krishna, and respect that, and you might have less tests for that. But of course, like every step we have tests and different things. We see this world, and at the same time, if we do our duties properly, and if we accept Krishna as the origin of everything, then it's much easier. We don't have stress even in difficult situations. We don't have that stress.
Bhagavad Gita says about three modes of nature. So Sattva Guna is closest guna to Shuddha Sattva. It's much more difficult approach to Shuddha Sattva from Rajas or Tamas. Much more difficult. Possible by mercy. Much more difficult. So Sattva means balance, harmony. And even possible in modern age, in Kali Yuga, being balanced, but at least being conscious about balance and making endeavors about to work, keep balance. Really something better. Makes sense?
Did it answer your question?
Yeah, thank you so much.
And very practical to remember sources that supported us.
Yeah, we forget sometimes the sources. When it's difficult, sometimes devotee can be in depression, but we don't see the resources like the community, like Krishna, and again, like your family system. So like there's so many nature, there's so many resources which can feel us, but because of ego or something, we don't receive it, and then we can all the negative qualities become more. I was serving Krishna, but then like Krishna didn't see me, and then anger or whatever, right? Desperation.
Krishna, during Bhagavad Gita, right? How many times call Arjuna by Arjuna?
By the name of Arjuna. Very few times.
Yes. All descendant of Bharata, or son of Kunti, or Pandava.
He showed the resource. He's like, he has
Resource.
big ancestors with him.
Krishna showed to Arjuna, your ancestors are great.
And they support him.
You are who are you? You are descendants of these great ancestors. So keep in mind. Just get this gratefulness. It is your, like Isha says. This is resource. Genetic. Everybody has father, mother, life, not life. We got this body from parents. and who feels his ancestors are great.
Oh, wonderful. It gives strength, right?
Not many. It is not, excuse me, not offenses to you, not chastising you. I had so many questions to my parents, not good questions. I mean, my attitude was really not good. And I took many years to change my consciousness. Srila Bhagavad Gita says in chapter 9,
Chapter 9, Krishna says there is a verse.
17th shloka, in Prabhupada says that parents actually are Krishna himself. Because it's all energy of Krishna. And then parents are particularly Krishna. So if we started to see this way, that Krishna gave us everything, but we cannot appreciate, we expect much more. We think, we want, we expect more. It's not humble, it's not grateful, right? It's about all of us. It's not means that we are bad people. No, it is disease of material existence, or anarthas in our hearts. That doesn't allow us to be grateful, for example, to parents, to see parents like great, our great resource, and to use it. And not only parents, all other areas of our life, to have proper mood to accept this.
You answer last question.
Thank you so much. A very thought-provoking class. So I had one thing to clarify and one comment to make. So from all that I understood in the class when you spoke about getting help, taking the resources, so that is in one sense taking shelter of Krishna.
Correct.
Right? And
they can shelter in the right way, because sometimes we say take shelter of Krishna, but you don't look for resources which Krishna gives you. Like I can sit here, like it's such an amazing temple, but I can sit here and I can tell there is no nature, no mountains, no river.
No walks.
Because I don't see.
No walks, no bills.
Yeah, so like, because we don't open our eyes where the resource which Krishna gives us. And nature is one of the amazing resources for the person.
Yeah, so that was one thing that was the takeaway point from me. And when you said, as parents, when we feel our child has another set of parents, that's so relieving. And for us also to look up to Krishna, he is there for us at any given point of time. That is a very freeing thought. It gives a lot of strength. One point that I wanted to clarify, in the class you mentioned, we are emotionally invested towards our parents. The parents give, and as children, when we become emotionally invested, then it gives stress. So that point I did not totally understand.
Yeah, I'll try. It's like we have a whole workshops, we have the course in Russian language on that. Okay, we can show. Maybe this cartel. So these cartels are bigger, right? Than this. Yeah, the size. So the parents are big, they give us life. They're really big. And when the parents are older, sometimes we feel that they are like children. Is it true? Yeah. So then we think that we need to take care of them, and we become here. We in our mind become bigger. And it's just crushing us. Because the energy flows from Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I'm the original ancestor, right? So from Krishna, through our ancestors, the parents' life comes to us. We are smaller, we receive from here, then we give further. So when we we think that they are smaller, we come here and it just crushes our energy internally very much. And we cannot give to them. Then we demand from our children. The point is that our parents are always big. If the parents are 70 or 80, they have so much support and resources, they live to this age and they performed all their duties. So they did everything that they need, they're big, they're powerful. Even if they right now can do things, but we have to see their greatness. We don't need and maybe in their last stage of life, we can help them and support them by changing, but it's not that they, for the children, they need to study, they need to start, so they need to put the energy there. But parents already did. If you're in this age, they perform their duties, they did it. This is their greatness. So you don't need to be responsible for them or for their life.
If they are in age 30, and parents in age 60, so son cannot think that his father must be so strong by body like 30 years. He will be 60, 70. Right? It's different age, different ashrams, different duties, different tasks of life actually. So parents could lose memory, or body energy, whatever. It's just gross or subtle body, prakriti. But in heart, the soul already did perform duty.
Duty of life, yeah, that's part of life. And that is his strength. It's power.
Still, power of blessings from parents depend.
Thank you, guys.
This seems so in line with what telling us family constellation.
Yeah, that's what we do, that's what our work.
So here's a question I have is, we take strength from our parents. When we talk about it, it's not like physical strength, but it's emotional and mental strength. And we think that now that because they're in their later years, like 70s or 80s, we can physically help them, but the emotional and mental strength they need to get from their source, which is their parents.
Yeah, correct. We have so much of practice in our own lives. My mother is right now healthier than she was 15 years ago. She's skiing, she's 78, she's actually really skilled that. Her house became better because I started seeing her strong. When we look at our parents, and you are called the parents, you can feel if your child thinks that you are weak, how you will feel. Your energy will go down, right? So we take the strength of our parents and then we override. But when you look at the parent who's older and you say, wow, mom, you're amazing. You live through your life and if you're sick, you still chant. You see their strengths and then they have more strength and you have less worries.
It seems so wonderful, that concept, if we understand it, because it helps us to be detached to that generation while we do our duty, and also allow our children free ourselves so that they can practice detachment, because we are freeing them in that process.
Right.
We using our own energy for given us by God. And we don't take others' energy, especially from children. We give blessings and take support from parents, support from same blessings. Like I came in April to visit my mom, 93 years old in Israel. She is disabled. If your body is disabled, barely could give hand. And when I left, come back, my brother called me and said, what you did this mom? My daughter says that my mom became more stronger, energized, and attitude much more vital, inspired. What I did, I just kissed the hands of my mom and told him, thank you, mom, for life. Thank you for carrying me. You give me this life, your love, your care, and in this life, I met devotees of Krishna. I got guru, wife, child. I got Harinam. I got everything. Mom. And my mom is disabled, but she gave me everything. And when I couldn't say her thank, like I could, but without grateful, it still means I don't need anything more. But when I say, oh mom, thank you, I need your love always. Your love always for me is valuable. Always my hands like that.
And the
I
hands are-
appreciate,
the hands
I
to Krishna is
appreciate
like that.
this. Okay, I became on position. This is another area of life, right? Not like Dikhaskavana, Pascha, or Brahmana, Shudra, whatever. No, it's another areas of life. Be child of parent. It's another area of life. I got it. I came to this point through many years of practice, beginning mental, and after go deep, deep and deep. Pandavas lost his father in child, they were children, but still they became great warriors and householders, because they got all benefits from father and from ancestors, father's ancestors. Why? They were open, grateful and open. Usually what happens with us, we are not grateful, not open to get resource in all areas of life. We're talking about parent now. It's more bright example, but actually all area of life. It's considered Bhagavad Gita should follow own nature. If my nature is son, I cannot be parent to my mom. Even she is disabled by her body. Even losing a little bit memory, so what? Right? So be on own place.
So is that family that we have Krishna, Guru, and our parampara, and then we have our family ancestors? So we gain or we take source.
We have two
strength from
paramparas.
both family.
Yeah, we have two
Great.
parameters.
Great, great.
We have two parameters, because if mother would not, if father would not be the seed, if mother would not carry us, give birth, feed, teach, how will we come to Krishna and Guru in this life? So first, Prabhupada says first Guru is mother, and mother and father, they both first Gurus.
Right.
And then they give us education that we can start reading, and then we can come to the second parampara of Guru. So we have to respect both. So these are both ways.
Let's have one other question, is while we are trying to, gain our strength, and as practicing, as we enter into a Krishna consciousness, we have a 6 Gurus, right? And they have a certain way of practicing the process, right? And that may not be our nature, right? Because we are new, we cannot identify what our nature is.
Mhm.
How do we reconcile or realign ourselves while we are not mature enough to understand what our nature is, and yet practice it and get strength and realign to the actual?
In Krishna consciousness?
Yeah.
Well, Krishna consciousness is it's not a karma. It's a process which brings us to spiritual world, to leave this material world, right? So in the moment of death. So this is the main important process, but at the same time, if you don't practice these areas of life, it's hard to jump there. Like from Tamaguni, you cannot jump to Sudasattva, right? So this is the point that all the devotees are great souls, because we are practicing both. We are practicing, especially if you are family people, we need to take care of our families, our bodies, and also we are going to Krishna. So it's a process. We need to take help. That's what they even be like. We need to help, like, psychological issues. We need to come to the devotees who can help in that areas, or different gurus. We need to be honest with us and value the time, value the life, and navigate through life. Trust, navigate.
So there's a personal responsibility on each of us.
Yes.
To take that.
Of course, it's our maturity. If you are not, if you don't take responsibility for our spiritual area of life or material, means we are childish. We think that somebody else will do it for us, even Guru. but it's actually our own responsibility. Because even Guru sometimes, when he disciples, he cannot understand what is there. And one spiritual master, Bhaktivedanta Maharaj, when we heard about him, Russian Guru, he said it is hard to come to Krishna if you have only one Diksha Guru. You need to have many Shiksha Gurus also. And here, like, you could be Shiksha Gurus to you. That's why this community is wonderful. We need to use the resource, support each other, be open. Like, sometimes we come, we are like to come to the altar, we are laughing, but sometimes so much pain inside, right? So like, ability to have your circle of devotees whom you can trust, whom you can open, or develop relationships in the family, receive resource, help. It's so important. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for staying here longer.
Shrimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Shiva Prabhupada ki
Shiva
jai.
Prabhupada ki, Shiva Prabhupada ki,
Jai.
Shiva Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Give us this association. Thank you so much.
Jai. Jai. Jai.